Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Place Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily news and editorial analysis which I'll be covering from two important newspapers. The first being the Hindu and the other is the Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial of the day will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with news topic list. Today is 22nd of February. The first topic is Finance Minister asked the banks to have more customer friendly approach. Second, Wax get the nod for the uses for the child. Third, India and France discusses Afghanistan and Ukraine crisis. Second last, edtech firms can tie up with universities to develop e-courses. And the last is an editorial question on MGNREGA budget estimation. A very important editorial raising the concerns about the payment and the wage issues. Apart from this, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions would be based on current affairs that would help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further delay, let's get started. And if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do not forget to press a like button. And just to tell you about our newer version of app, this is the updated app 2.0, which will give you a lot more other facilities like downloads and stuffs. So you can check the description section for more details and download the app from there. The first news of the day, that is Finance Minister has asked the bank to be more customer friendly. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 3, Indian economy and issue related to planning, mobilization, resource, growth and development. So what Finance Minister has recently asked, she has asked that the bank need to have a more focused approach that where it could deliver a customer friendly process, right? और जो क्रेडिट प्रोसेस है उसको और हेजल फ्री बनाने की जरूरत है, डिजिटल करने की जरूरत है, so that each and everyone can have access to the credit from the banks. However, the minister has also cautions कि हमें जो एनपीए की इश्यूज है उसके भी ध्यान रखनी है, एंड वी हैव टू इंश्योर दैट देयर इज नो लीनियंसी इन द रूल्स इन टर्म्स ऑफ लेंडिंग. ऐसा नहीं है कस्टमर को हेजल फ्री क्रेडिट देनी है, बट व्हेन इट कम टू गेटिंग बैक दैट अमाउंट ऑल द रूल्स एंड प्रोसीजर हैज टू बी इन प्लेस, और एनपीएस कहीं भी किसी तरह से बढ़नी नहीं चाहिए किसी भी बैंक के. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ पॉइंट दैट वाज डिस्कस्ड इन द मीटिंग. So need for a hassle-free credit. This is what the finance ministry has to say. The meeting between the industry representative और finance minister ये कहा जो हमारे startups हैं उसके founders ने भी ये suggest किया कि that the credit available should be hassle-free to the consumers, right? It will ensure that जो economy में circulations है, जो positive sentiments आनी है, जो market में पूरी तरह से we have seen that during COVID-19 performance of each and every sector was not well. So to move back and rebounds back the economy activities, it's very important that credit process has to function in a positive way. And the SBI chairman in this regard has said that they're working on increasing their reliance on end-to-end digitalization, जहाँ पे पूरे loan process को digitalize किया जाएगा, and it would be a hassle-free experience for the customer. This is what the SBI chairman has to say. And he also indicated that आने वाले कुछ महीने में जो पूरी lending process है that is going to be digital, right? Now, credit guarantee fund scheme for MSME, that is the micro, small and medium enterprises, के लिए एक specific scheme government लेकर के आई थी. This is also known as CGF scheme, right? So this was actually launched way back in 2000, जहाँ पे government ने कोशिश की है to make available collateral free credit to micro, small and medium enterprises, or you can say the sector. But ये जो existing sectors हैं उसके साथ both the existing and the new enterprises are eligible to covered under scheme. This is an important point for the prelims examination. They can ask you whether the new or the existing is only eligible. तो आपको ये point ध्यान होनी चाहिए. Now the corpus of CGTM, that is Credit Guarantee Fund, is to be contributed by the government and SIDBI in ratio of 4:1. So SIDBI also play a very significant role. Make sure you remember this point as well. Now the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises जो गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की है, और उसके अलावा सिडबी जो है स्मॉल इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया, they have established a trust, and the name of this trust is Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises to implement the CGS, that is Credit Guaranteed Scheme or Fund Scheme भी आप कह सकते हैं, right? So this is how this particular scheme is actually functioning to put an endeavor जहाँ पे MSME sectors को boost किया जा सके. Now the other news is Corbevax gets the nod for the uses. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 2, issues related to development and management of health. So recently, the DCGI, that is the Drug Control General of India, they have approved the emergency use vaccine Cobra Wax for children, that is for 12 to 18, right? So this is Corbevax, which is developed by Biological E Limited, right, which is a Hyderabad-based company. They are manufacturing it, and this vaccine adds up to number 3 in the indigenous vaccine जो इंडिया में प्रोड्यूस हो रही है. तो कितनी टोटल वैक्सीन अभी इंडिजिनसली बच्चों के लिए डेवलप की गई है फॉर द टीनेज. So the total number has mounts up to 3. इससे पहले और एक वैक्सीन थी जाइडस कैडिला की, which was known as Zycov D. This is being developed earlier. उसके अलावा कोवैक्सीन भी भारत बायोटेक की अप्रूव हो गई. These two vaccines were already being functions in India. और अब एक नई वैक्सीन जो आई है Corbevax, this is the third vaccine that has been reported to be the part of teenage vaccinations, right? ये 2 डोज में एडमिनिस्टर की जाएगी, ऐसे रिपोर्ट्स का कहना है. Now, emergency use authorization was earlier also given to Corbevax. So the committee, that is the जो ड्रग कंट्रोल जनरल ऑफ इंडिया है, उन्होंने सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट कमिटी को ये रिपोर्ट दी थी कि क्या नोटिफिकेशंस है, किस तरह से ये वैक्सीन्स काम कर रही है इन टर्म्स ऑफ लिथैलिटी ऑफ द वायरस. So it was found that yes, it is meeting the parameters, and EU was recommended to review the safety immunogenicity data clinical study of the Corbevax in children and adolescents. So finally, after all the scrutinizations and the detailed scrutiny of this, the final approval has come. So India so far has vaccinated almost 76 million children, which is the age group of 15 to 17, because 18 plus के लिए already vaccination पहले से start हुई है. So this is how things are going in terms of vaccination in India. Now, the other news is India and France discuss Afghanistan Ukraine crisis. This particular news is important for General Studies Paper 2, bilateral regional grouping and agreement, evolving India's and affecting India's interest. So under this news, it was recently, there was a meeting that was held between India and France foreign minister, where they have met in Paris to discuss important global issues. तो इंडिया की तरफ से या फिर फ्रांस की तरफ से कुछ important priority areas highlight किए गए हैं where the discussion took place. The first was between India and European Union relations, exchange perspective of situation in Afghanistan. We have seen that after the Taliban overtaken the power in Afghanistan, the things is not working. The humanitarian ground, the democratic setup of the government is not functioning properly. So this has raised a global concern, including the India. And Iranian nuclear deal, which was again a point of concern for India as well. And Ukraine crisis. तो ये कुछ 4 important ऐसे global issues हैं जहाँ पे इंडिया और फ्रांस के फॉरेन मिनिस्टर ने इस पर डिस्कशन की है. So both countries has pledged together that in the UN Security Council, the situation of Afghanistan is an issue of interest and all member countries are concerned about it. The foreign minister have reiterated, उन्होंने दोहराया है that joint committee to have a principle of multilateralism and rule-based order. If it come to rule-based order, जो Indo-Pacific region है, that is also a point of concern for India and many other Quad countries also, right? तो Indo-Pacific में अगर बात करें, so these would be again important point. Now, India's foreign minister who is visiting Europe countries will also have to discuss the situation in Afghanistan with the other senior officers as well. Now, EU की multilateral forum में discussion होनी है, and what are the things that would be taking place? So India has appreciated France की effort, जहाँ पे अभी recent में France ने EU की presidentship ली है, where Indo-Pacific is going to be a significant part. And this ministerial forum, जो दोनों ministers हैं India और France के, they have agreed to launch a joint Indo-French call, which is known as Indo-Pacific Partnership during the EU forum. So this is the global development in terms of bilateral relationship between India and France. Now ये जो partnership होगी that aim to build capabilities in Indo-Pacific region, जो terms of sustainability management है for the protected areas would also be taken into considerations. Now they have also agreed to intensify the need to begin negotiations, free trade agreement, investment, and to implement EU connectivity partnership. So this is how the things are moving, and definitely this will strengthen a bilateral relationship between India, France, and other EU member countries. ब्लू इकोनॉमी अगेन वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड सिग्निफिकेंट. सो ब्लू इकोनॉमी और उसकी गवर्नेंस को लेके बात हुई है. इंडिया एंड फ्रांस हैज अडॉप्टेड एंड इंडिया फ्रांस रोड मैप फॉर द ब्लू इकोनॉमी एंड ओशन गवर्नेंस, जो एम करती है टू इनहांस द पार्टनरशिप इन टर्म्स ऑफ द ब्लू इकोनॉमी, और जो इसके इंस्टीट्यूशनल, इकोनॉमिक, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर और साइंटिफिक कॉपरेशन है उनको प्रमोट करने की कोशिश की जाएगी via this partnership. And they have also agreed to continue and enhance their cooperations. And they also agreed to conclude that joint declarations is intended in area of sports and other areas that connect people to people. So people to people connection is again very important, which is being facilitated under the blue economy and ocean governance. Now moving to the other news, that is Edtechfirms can tie up with universities to develop ecoaches. This particular news is important for General Studies paper 2, issues related to development and management of education and human resources. उसके अलावा इसी पेपर में जनरल स्टडीज के पेपर 2 में प्रोग्राम एंड पॉलिसीज ऑफ द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में भी इंपॉर्टेंट. Now the UGC has recently proposed एक अमेंडमेंट उन्होंने लाया है जहाँ पे ये कही गई है कि जो ऑनलाइन एजुकेशंस हैं उनको इनकरेज किए जाएगी. जो एडटेक स्टार्टअप्स या जो एडटेक इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं दे वुड बी टाइंग अप विद द कॉलेजेस एंड यूनिवर्सिटीज टू हार्नेस अ टेक्नोलॉजिकल टूल एंड मेक द एजुकेशन द एडटेक सेक्टर मोर हेल्पफुल टू द स्टूडेंट्स कम्युनिटी. राइट, तो एक अमेंडमेंट की गई है यूजीसी में जहाँ पे ओपन एंड डिस्टेंस लर्निंग प्रोग्राम ऑनलाइन प्रोग्राम्स रेगुलेशन 2022 would be allowed to offer UG and PG courses, that is undergraduate and postgraduate program, that would be allowed in collaborations with the edtech platforms. आपने recent में देखा होगा बहुत ऐसी multilateral edtech platforms हैं. I'll not name them, we are not promoting anyone, but बहुत सारे ऐसे platforms हैं जो कि MBA और courses भी अभी करवा रहे हैं. But for a limited number of colleges is only providing UG and PG courses. So to increase the ambit, इसके दायरे को बढ़ाने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ये रेगुलेशंस लेके आ रही है ताकि और लोगों को बेसिकली ओपन या ऑनलाइन तरीके से अंडर ग्रेजुएट या पोस्ट ग्रेजुएट की डिग्री मिल पाए. सो दिस अमेंड द रेगुलेशंस एंड लाइकली टू पुट अप इन पब्लिक डोमेन. सजेशंस अभी भी अवेटेड है टिल फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ मार्च. द गवर्नमेंट इज लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड विद द सजेशंस. Now colleges to offer online degree, according to the UGC chairman, इन्होंने कहा कि जो regulators हैं they would plan to allow the top rated autonomous colleges to offer online degree from the academic session, that is इसी academic session से बात की गई है 2022 and 23. Currently only universities and their constituent colleges are fulfilling this criteria to allow online degrees. At present 59 universities हैं जो 120 undergraduate courses, 29 postgraduate courses and 2 PG diploma courses को offer कर रही है, of which 15% is a science courses and 50% related to business administration, either it is BBA or Master of Business Administration, and 35% is related to the humanities subject. Right, so this is how the bifurcation goes with regards to the availability of subjects in online courses. Now this initiative, which UGC has definitely taken, would aims to formalize the involvement of edtechs and digital educations coming at the time when the government would be urging the industry's player to conduct their business in more transparent, efficient and effective way. So this is how it set a roadmap for the edtech companies in promoting online education in our country. So if you see the online market in India, अगर इसकी valuations की बात करें in next 5 years, so CAGR is around 20%. This is aimed to accelerate. Incremental growth जो हुई है वो $2.8 billion की हुई है. And this market is fragmented in several players occupying the market. Growth has contributed to India is like 100% and growth for 2021 is supposed to be 19.2%. Market impact क्या है? This is on a positive side. So this is the reason being the government is promoting the online educations. Now the other news or editorial, this is questions on MGNREGA budget estimations. This particular news is important for General Studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design implementation. So under this editorial, some of the important concern that has been raised, we'll be discussing in important subheads. First is the consistent shortage of funds. Second, projected person day work, कितनी लोगों को काम मिल रही है. Work demand fund availability, right? This is the fund availability. And again, wage rate and conclusion. So the entire editorial focuses upon MGNREGA problem of unemployment. जो MGNREGA की wages की issues हैं और जो problem of unemployment exist कर रही है इंडिया में. So let's start this editorial. बजट की बात करें, इस बार जो बजट अवेल की गई पार्लियामेंट में, उसमें खास करके जो एलोकेशंस होनी थी मनरेगा को वो काफ़ी कम रही है, and it has been slashed by 25% exactly, right? And this is creating a problem at that time when Indian economy is trying to recover from the pandemic losses, right? So for Manrega, which no, this budget allocate around 73,000 crore rupees. Earlier, अगर इससे पहले वाले साल की बात करें तो 98,000 crore rupees थी. So this is a shortfall that we have seen in terms of the allocation to the Manrega. अब ये एलोकेशंस कम हुई है तो लोगों को काम कम मिलेगी और इकोनॉमी में अगेन अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट की जो साइकिल है वो लूप में चलती रहेगी. सो दिस इज अ कंसर्न दैट हैज बीन रेज्ड इन दिस एडिटोरियल. विल जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड एवरीथिंग इन डिटेल. सो कंसिस्टेंट शॉर्टेज ऑफ फंड्स रही है. कंसिक्वेंटली देखा ये गया है दैट द शॉर्टेज ऑफ फंड विच इज देयर, तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट को डेफिसिट हुई है बिकॉज दे आर नॉट गेटिंग द फंड. लॉन्ग डिले हो रही है वेज पेमेंट्स में. देयर इज डिक्लाइन इन द वर्क दैट इज प्रोवाइडेड इन 2 quarters एंड देयर आर सिग्निफिकेंट पेंडिंग ड्यूज इन द फाइनेंशियल ईयर दैट हैज टू बी पेड एज अ वेज टू द लेबरर. सो ये सारी प्रॉब्लम है विच इज एग्जिस्टिंग एंड क्रिएटिंग अ लॉट मोर प्रॉब्लम फॉर ईच स्टेट्स एंड द डेली वेज अर्नर्स. Now for financial year 2021-2022 एक डेटा रिलीज की गई थी पेज के थ्रू से. दिस इज पीपल एक्शन फॉर एम्प्लॉयमेंट गारंटेड. दिस शोज दैट द अमाउंट इनिशियली एलोकेटेड वाज नियरली एग्जॉस्टेड इन सितंबर ओनली. जो फाइनेंशियल ईयर है उससे काफ़ी पहले बजट पूरी तरह से खत्म हो गई और द स्टेट वाज नॉट हैविंग द मनी to give the earner the amount, right? And so the work was also not allocated. तो एक negative balance यहाँ पे देखने को मिली है in terms of the work allocations. And for this financial year, जो recommendations थी by the page, they recommended almost 2.6 lakh crore rupees. और government ने allocate कितनी की है? Only 73,000 crore rupees. This is what the government has allocated, and even the NREGA Sangharsh Morcha have recommended 3.6 lakh crore rupees for the government, but only allocation is 73,000 crore rupees. So which is a problem in the next coming years because people would not giving a job because यहाँ पे state के पास भी काफ़ी कम amount होंगे उनको pay करने के लिए. Now this is a graph which is there in the Hindu as well. आप वहाँ पे भी देख सकते हैं ये चारों quarters की data दी हुई है. So how this money has been allocated. So if you'll see for the present session the number is decreasing. यहाँ पे ये तीनों आप देख सकते हो कैसे decrease हो रही है. And for the other 2021 the number was this much in crores, right? So you can pause this video, you can check the data as well. Now projected percent day work की अगर बात करें among the other things, budget की जो calculation है that depend upon 2 variable. First is the projected per person day और उसके जो wage rate है उसके accordingly. तो ये project की गई थी that the projected person day in total was a work actually anticipated in the year, but उसके accordingly payment हुई नहीं है and in September only the entire money was exhausted. तो ये district program coordinators जो होते हैं they are responsible for calculating and submit this report to the state government that how much requirement we have, how much daily wage earner we have in terms of getting the work. तो ये calculations होती हैं फिर state government को भेजी जाती है estimations, उसके accordingly state government fund release करती है. So this is the duty of the district program coordinator, right? Now in financial year 2019, 20 and 20 और 2021 में देखा गया है कि जो personalized generic work थे वो 18.4% higher थे compared to quarter 4 and quarter 3. However, the person days for quarter 4 in the financial year 2021 and 2 are separated to be stringent significantly lower in quarter 3 because during pandemic people were having no work and most of the people were inclined to work in Manrega. Now for this financial year, that is last year, the usual year with pandemic, the subsequent lockdown measure has significantly increased the Manrega work demand. And work demand continued to be higher in financial year as well as implying the rural population that is still relying on Manrega for their livelihood. Because we have seen that at this point of time, many people have lost their job and they do not have any earning option. The reason being most people are relied upon Manrega. Now work demand और fund availabilities की अगर बात करें, there have been attempt by the government to curb the work demand based on the available fund. तो गवर्नमेंट ये चाहती है कि जितनी फंड है उतनी ही लोगों को काम दी जाए and they have decreased the application as such that to work in Manrega. In 2016, according to some media report, जो रूरल डेवलपमेंट मिनिस्ट्री उन्होंने अनऑफिशियली कम्युनिकेशन दिया है where they have come up to cut down the Manrega work because of the fund that were running out, right? Now, since budget allocation are based on the projected percentage, ये एक underestimation project है that will lead to the inadequate allocation. So you can see how informally government is not allowing the people to work in Manrega because of the shortage of the wages, right? And low allocations for the financial year 2022 is likely to be the outcome of artificial low percentage projections. So this is a problem which our economy is facing. The unorganized sector is definitely going to impact with the shortfall of the fund that government has released in the recent budget. Now wage rate की अगर बात करें, so the मनरेगा wage rate is also contributing keeping in the mind with the low budget. एक clear mandate थी मनरेगा को लेकर के जहाँ पे remuneration cannot be lower than the minimum wage in each state. ऐसा कमेटी ने भी रिकमेंडेशन किया था. मैं आपको कमेटी के बारे में बताऊंगा. Now the central government has violated the provision of act where the fundamental right of the मनरेगा workers was violated. And if this जो problems अगर ये और ऊपर पहुंचती तो definitely the Supreme Court has to intervene in this. Now what the committee has said, एक committee बनाई गई थी under the chairmanship of Anup Satpathy. He has said that there's a need to have a national wage of around 375 per day as on July 2018. But again ये recommendations पूरी नहीं की गई और पेज के मुताबिक they are only paying 269 rupees per day as per the recent budget brief. This is what the official comment has to say. But the recommendation was for 375 rupees. Now, according to the मनरेगा at glance, जो average मनरेगा wage है, which is around 209 rupees, ये काफी low allocation है, indicating that the wage will be not increasing much, if at all. So this is a problem that has existed in our economy in terms of the regulation of the मनरेगा and fund allocations to the मनरेगा. तो कंक्लूजन की अगर बात करें इस तरह की, अगर आप आंसर्स लिख रहे हैं मेंस में, तो यू हैव टू कंक्लूड योर आंसर विद द ग्राउंड रियलिटी. सो मनरेगा ट्रीट एम्प्लॉयमेंट गारंटी एज अ लीगल राइट. Any rural household can have work up to 100 days every year that the government has to provide. This is a legal duty of the government. This is a legal right of an individual to ask for 100-day job in a financial year, right? And if the demand arises, the government must fulfill it. Now in this context, जो budget allocations है वो एक ceiling provide करती है the people that has to be involved, because अगर fund कम रहेंगे तो कम लोगों को ही enrollment की जाएगी, right? And the core premises of the scheme is definitely eroded. The central approach in estimating the project, keeping the wage illegally low, treating budget as an upper limit for them to provide erode at the very premise of मनरेगा. So what government need to do? They need to increase the budget allocation, and at the same time, parallelly, it has to go with the number of daily wage earner they are working willing to work. They should also be enrolled with the help of the district coordinated program or committee. So this has to be on a check upon. तो खास करके जो ministries हैं states के या फिर और जितने nodal ministries हैं, they need to formulate a policy where budget as well as that overall involvement of the people need to be highlighted and increased. Now moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answer of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option is C. For second question, the correct option is B. Today's MCQ question, Malabar exercise. It is an annual trilateral naval exercise between navies of India, Japan and USA. The exercise is held alternatively between India and Pacific Ocean. So what is the correct answer? You have to check. Second, the Gender Inequality Index. Which among the following releases this? This is United Nations Economic Program, Economic Forum, UNDP, Save the Children or Transparency International. Index and report is very important for the examination, so make sure you make a list and learn it on a daily basis. So this is all about the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQ questions. If you have any other concern, you can let me know. I'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.